Welcome back. We're here for Game 4 of the American Dota League third place match between Denial Esports and Dignitas. We witnessed Denial go up 2-0 in the series, but a huge response from Dignitas net them a 13-minute GG. In this game, I'm joined by Mont. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I just got back in time to watch, of course, that third game. Amazing play coming out of Team Dignitas. But man, when I came home and I saw that Denial was up 2-0, I was like, oh boy, what a series we've got here, guys. So really excited to be here. Thanks a lot, John.
No problem. Glad to have you here. And of course, this series was so close to being over. A huge upset in the making for Denial, but Dignitas woke up, as one of the people on Twitter said, phrasing it the best. And here we see Dignitas going back to the same formula that got them so much success, picking up that Dragonite early on. But let's go through the bans first. We see Wisp and Treant, who have not made it in a single game, banned out on the side of Dignitas. Denial banned out the Gyrocopter and the Keeper of the Light. They get the Batrider with the first pick. The response was that Darkseer Dragonite combo, a hero that Snaking had success on last game, as opposed to the previous two games where he really fell short. So definitely a much better hero suited for him and his playstyle. And Denial looking for a second hero here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to say, I mean, snaking on that Dragonite, just so good. You saw it in that last game. And I think really Dragonite, especially with that level 11 buff, has actually really helped him out a lot. I think his base damage is pretty good. He's at a point right now where he does some decent damage in the mid game and as a semi carry as well. And in the mid lane, I think he, of course, excels when he hits that level 6. He gets that Poison Dragon. He's able to start controlling that lane. Up against the Batrider might be tough, might not be the easiest lineup that he's got to go for against him. But we'll see how Snaking handles it there. And then the Chen pickup coming out from Denial Esports. Misoku, a great Chen player. So looking like a good game already.
Yeah, he is an amazing Chen player, but this is a pick that we've seen a lot of the North American teams thrive against, and there is a disconnect on the captain of Denial. But it looks like, oh no, Dignitas. But he gets back into the game in time. Thankfully, that could have been
Yeah.
catastrophic. But
Mm.
Chen is one of the heroes that they play very well, but they get punished often in their tri lanes. So we'll see if Dignitas try and move to punish that tri lane, perhaps, as we've seen many teams do previously. Thinking about EG, they just throw chaotic tri lane at that and just prevent the carry from farming. It will definitely be interesting to see Dignitas' responses. They tend to go aggressive tri lanes a little bit less than most teams, so I'm curious to see that. But the bans are flying out here. Denial ban out the Jakiro, Dignitas ban out Shadow Demon, and now Denial with their fourth ban. Probably looking to ban out another support here. Jakiro out is, of course, because of the Darkseer in that combo, but they ban out the Lone Druid instead.
Yeah, and you went to that point talking about the aggressive trialing coming up from Team Dignitas. They don't do it a whole lot. That's absolutely true. And I think Denial is doing the right thing here. Banning out the Jakiro, of course, that's a hero that Team Dignitas love to run. And that would certainly prove to be really, really, really good, I think, at aggressive trialing. But since they didn't grab a support with those first two pickups, I'm not sure Team Dignitas wants to go down that route. I think they might want to just play their game, which is pretty much get the Dragon Knight some farm in that mid, get the Darkseer a decent amount of farm in that off lane. They're going to go for the Visage game, which they had in the previous game, and man, that Soul Summoner does so much work right now. And you mentioned Misoku, of course, and how he can get focused, and especially they can punish that tri lane. But I don't know, man. Misoku has his luck with, of course, those Dark Shore Warlords, the ensnares as well on top of that. We'll see if he can get some more luck there. But so far, looking good for both sides with their drafts here.
Yeah, you do mention the Dark Troll Warlords. That was ridiculous, that game we saw that. And it certainly was potent, but Visage is a hero. I said this, I know one time when you were casting with me, way too sexy is amazing on this hero. And we saw it last game. We saw it in the first game even. They were down and he still had almost double-digit kills. Just so strong overall in that pairing. And we do see an Alchemist pick up by Denial. The question is this a mid Alchemist? They did run Batrider and offlane in game 2, I believe, with Mihawk.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's very possible that this Batrider ends up in the offlane. And with OD banned out, the best matchup against Alchemist is probably going to be a Queen of Pain. And they already
Yeah.
have the Dragonite in place, so it's probably a pretty good matchup middle for an Alchemist. So I think it could end up there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if there's one team that loves to run the solo mid Alchemist, well, besides maybe Liquid, there is Denial with Smash, and he can just lane so many things in the mid lane, and he's such a good player, such a young player as well. Of course, a lot of these mid players so young. I think Snake King and Smash are around the same age as well on top of that, which is crazy to think about. Lifesteal are going to get picked up here for Team Dignitas, so they're going to go that route. But absolutely, they could, of course, send that Batrider into the off lane. I think that certainly could serve them well. With the Chen as well, they're not going to be sending him in the jungle or anything like that. They don't want to split the jungle that much because Chen wants to get as much experience and farm as possible, get that early mech. So Batrider Rider probably, if he's not going to go mid, then he's definitely going to go the off lane. Alchemist certainly could go mid. He could, of course, be that farm Alchemist played by Ewo. So we'll see if that is what they want to do here. Team Dignitas, they've got this really great early game aggressive lineup, which we pretty much saw last game. I mean, this is, I think, kind of a carbon copy of the previous game. In terms of their heroes and in terms of the damage that they can output. But the Vengeful Spirit coming out from Denial, very interesting.
This is one of the picks that I love. I think Vengeful Spirit, of course, not only for having the minus armor, but an instant stun. It's surprising to say, but it's kind of hard to come by these days with the supports that people are going for. It's a hard disable that you throw on somebody. You're stacking your minus armor already. They're kind of setting up this last pick for a PA, to be honest, but I'm not sure it's going to slip through. And if you look at Denial's lineup, they already have the Bat Rider to cope with the Lifestealer pretty effectively. They have the swap now for any target that gets hit by a Dragon Tail stun, and they try and focus so they can trade off the Vengeful for whomever. And I think it really is panning out well. The only problem is that they let this Lifestealer through, and Lifestealer is a hero that maybe they could have banned instead of that Lone Druid, because Lifestealer works very well against Alchemist. I mean, he could block that stun so easily if he's the only target for Concoction. You also think about the amount of damage he does early game. Alchemist needs a considerable amount of farm to match that. So that is a little bit of a concern. I'm curious to see how Dignitas are going to lane this, because they are very fond of throwing Lifestealer in the off lane, but since the Darkseer is already in play, I'm not sure if they're going to take it as a dual lane setup, but I'm curious to see how it does. They ban out the Clockwork as their final ban, but I really think this Bat Rider is going to end up in that off lane. I think it's probably set up for a PA pick. What do you think?
I mean, I think you're right. I think they could send Bat Rider in the off lane, though. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not willing to put my money on it, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's definitely possible. You're absolutely right. They do love running PA as well. And you talked about the CC, the crowd control going for Denial. They certainly have a lot of it. Bat Rider with that lasso, of course, Venge with the stun, the swap, the unstable concoction on top of that. They're looking really strong with their fighting. But you mentioned Alchemist needing that farm, absolutely. And with Team Dignitas, they've got a lineup that punishes a lot of early game aggression. So if Team Dignitas, if they want to be aggressive, if they want to bring the fight to Denial, it's going to be tough, because Denial, they do kind of have that buffer with Chen's Hand of God when he gets level 6. But now another great ganking hero comes out for Team Dignitas. And, you know, this is going to be interesting. They can absolutely do an aggressive lineup or aggressive tri lane, I think, with these three heroes here. It'd be tough, and they could send Darkseer into the solo safe lane. But I'm not sure if that's exactly what they want to do. But in the end, I think Team Dignitas, they really have a great draft here for mid-game fights, you know, of course, with these carries. But I think if it goes longer, Alchemist and whatever they want to pick up here for Denial, if it is that PA, then I think that, I mean, if Denial are able to take this past, you know, 30, 40 minutes, they'll be in a good position.
Yeah, Denial are in an interesting spot. I think it could be the PA, because they do have the armor stack set up. They could go for something like the Weaver as well, and then have these supports roam a little bit harder, but they still have the option of throwing that Bat Rider middle. Now that I think about it, because Bat Rider against Dragon Knight is a really good matchup, they could put Alchemist in the tri-lane and then pick I mean, there's not many off-laners left, but they could go for something surprising here, as Nature's Prophet is still a part of the pool as well. He slipped through.
Yep.
So they really are open in terms of what they can do, and we've seen a lot of teams end up switching their whole setup with a 5th pick before. And I'm not sure Denial are going to do it here. They're definitely mulling over the idea of picking up that PA.
I don't know, man. That Big Lots, the Big Lots Nature's Prophet could come out here in just a second.
It's tempting. It's definitely got to be tempting, because we saw what Nature's Prophet did in the hands of Universe last game. It just destroyed that tri-lane, and that is why he's so powerful. If you get that off-lane matchup where he's one-on-one and he can just survive and get some CS, he can be so impactful in the other lanes. And that was exactly what happened for Universe. But they go with the Razor. Wow.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. And now I want to see who's playing what on the side of Denial, because I don't really know who's going where at this point, you know. And Smash is going to go up on the Bat Rider, so it looks like he's going to be going mid. And this is very strange. Does that mean that this is an off-lane Razor? I'm curious.
I am too. Are they going to try and run dual lanes?
Wait, why are they disconnecting? What happened? We need a remake. Okay, I guess we're remaking, guys. All right.
It looks like the picks will stand, but we're going to remake.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, stick with us. We'll be back in a moment as we get back into the actual game.
But, man, I'm excited for this 4th game. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. And some people do believe that Razor is a counter to Lifestealer, too. So that could be the reason why they picked it as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Lifestealer is one of the more prominent heroes for Dignitas. It's going to be the carry, and I will introduce Dignitas on the dire side. We do have Snaking playing the Dragon Knight for the second game in a row. Had a lot of success last game on that hero. Universe playing Darkseer, Fogged on the Nyx Assassin, Way Too Sexy playing Visage, and AUI 2000 playing the Lifestealer. If you would be so kind as to introduce Denial Esports.
Absolutely. On the side of now, we've got Masoku on his favorite Chen looking at Smash. He's up on the Alchemist. Gonna see Misko on the Vengeful Spirit. Lagging behind here, we've got Mihawk on the Batrider, and Iwo will be on the Razor. And oh boy, this is interesting, John.
Yeah, they're wrapping around here. They might find somebody off. And we've seen the aggressive play from Denial early on in the game in the previous matchups, but this time, Dignitas are hunting. They're on the prowl looking for somebody to catch out here. They're going to go ahead and take the level 1 Surge. That's a bold move. And the stun, a Flame Break comes out from Mihawk, but the stun catches 2. Smash is charging off a Concoction. It hits 3, and Fogged is going to go down first. First blood comes out from Denial early here. Misko could be the response kill. He is going to drop as the Soul Assumption flies in, but Snaking getting really low, and there's the damage from Iwo to get the kill there. And now Smash charging off another stun. We could see another casualty coming out in a moment. TP rotations coming back in from Dignitas. That Flame Break not hitting anybody. Universe back under the tower, and now Denial look for a disengage, but a Dragon Tail stun on Mihawk as everyone has been forced to skill uniquely. Mihawk's going to try and eat through the trees, but a Soul Assumption finishes him off. 2 for 2 trade. Smash charging off another stun. He's coming out in a moment. He's going to toss it. He hits onto Way Too Sexy. Way Too Sexy drops. It's 3-2. Masuko's going to drop here, 3-3, and Iwo's still in the middle trying to get auto attacks off. Smash is going to get caught by Fogged, who made his way back into the fight, and it's going to end up in favor of Dignitas, with Smash certainly going down here. It's going to be a 4-3 lead inside of 30 seconds in this game if they can catch up to Smash.
They can catch him, man.
They have a surge.
Okay. All right. First of all, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. All right. I just want to point that out, firstly. You saw, I know that Universe really wanted to go Iron Shell, but since that unstable concoction from Smash was huge to start the fight off, even though he got impaled, he got like 3 heroes. I guess, Universe realized, okay, we need to get out of here. We need to have Surge first. And, well, it's unfortunate you don't have that Iron Shell, because I think it would have been a lot better for Dignitas. But if they can catch Smash here, which is going to be tough, he's moving quickly. They don't really have mana. They do have mana for a Surge in just 2 seconds. If they can get somebody up there, oh, man, John.
If they can catch this, here it is. Their surge forward, and the open wounds is there. 200 range open wounds, definitely going to get them to kill. Yeah. And somehow Dignitas come ahead, but in reality, they come even-ish. They get more of experience. They get the same amount of gold, really, because First Blood did go to Denial.
Yeah.
And if we look at the graphs, you see them going all over the place. They're pretty crazy right now.
I can't even. That's crazy.
It's so hard to process. And they did change between games, and this is a dual lane. Misko's coming up to the top lane. Way Too's the only one up here. They're going to go on him, and he could be in trouble. Magic Missile flies. Misko with the illusions is dealing a whole lot of damage. The nice Flame Break tosses him away, and this game has been crazy. What a start to a Game 4. This series has been amazing. Best decision to have a third-place match ever.
Yeah, I got to say, first and foremost, I was going to say Dignitas are so lucky that went their way in the end in that fight. That was just the most ridiculous amount of trades I've ever seen, and they go and throw it away by getting, of course, Way Too Sexy killed. Fog, now maybe it's some trouble here for Masoku and the Centaur Warden Runner. Not going to happen now, or Conquer, excuse me, in wrong Centaur. But at the same time, right now, Dignitas, they're being aggressive, which is great and all, but at the same time, that was really lucky on their part.
Yeah, it was lucky, and it was chaotic and crazy. They do have a tri-lane up against the dual lane down bottom, though, with a roaming Venge. And this is what Venge does so much better than a lot of other supports, is roam really effectively, because she does have the magic missile, the hard stun. They're setting up the stun middle. Smash is going to come in here on Snaking. Snaking gets stunned once. They bring in a Centaur as well. He's going to chain this off, and Snaking's going to go down here. Really well executed from Denial. Chen throwing a creep into the mix, and the ping down bottom is to try and get them to go aggressive onto Iwo, because he's alone here. But it's really tough to take advantage of a Razor under a tower at this early stage of the game. And this is amazing play by Venge so far. Misko is a part of 3 kills already inside of 2.5 minutes in the game, and is able to just roam all 3 lanes so effectively early on here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that was just a great set of ganks there coming out from the side of Denial. Getting those kills.
They're going to come into the bottom lane again. They're actually going to go on top of Way Too Sexy. Ursa comes in with a stomp. That gets an easy kill there. Fog is the next target. Misko looking for another disable. It's up in 3 seconds. Can they keep on him? It looks like they can. Fog is going to get caught here by the magic missile on a follow-up hit. Misko's not done yet. 3, 1, and 2 Vengeful Spirit. What a game so far for him, and just walking down into bottom lane through full vision of the Dire side, and they just casually engaged there. I'm not sure what Dignitas were thinking getting caught off that far separate, because obviously if it were 3-on-3 straight up, they can contest it a lot better. But one at a time, it really lends to Denial's favor, and they've started off this game on the right foot, 7-4 early on here inside of 4 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see already Razors being so annoying with, of course, the use of that static lane, just stealing all of the damage coming out from the side of AUI 2000. But at the same time, this is a team that's supposed to punish aggression from Dignitas. This is a team that's supposed to be really good in the early to mid game. What's happening is they're getting ganked. They're losing kills. They're out of position, like you talked about, and they're just getting ganked in positions where it really shouldn't happen. I mean, dying up top, way too sexy. Not sure what he was doing up there. The tri-lane not going that well as well. AUI 2000 is now trying to offlane here with this lifestealer. He's taking a lot of damage, as you can see from Ewo, and it's just going the way of Denial right now, 7-4. And at this point, they can't really afford to go down this far this early. I mean, it's really going Denial's way. They've got already at 4 minutes a 2,000 experience lead and a 2,000 gold lead, John. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, now Alchemist is going to find a haste rune, and you said it. They rotated the supports up top because they really can't afford to lose them, but they need to completely swap these lanes. Universe needs to head down to the bottom. They need to get AUI up top. He's not going to get farm on that bottom lane, so we'll see how long it takes them to get this rotation. We've seen a lot of teams in the past suffer because of the slow rotation. EG in the finals come to mind as the most recent, just not getting that farm on Fear in one of those games because he stayed down bottom on the Weaver. It's not worthwhile, even for a couple of waves, honestly, because you're missing out on so much. And the middle lane, you would say that, Snaking is doing pretty well in the middle lane. This is a wash at a glance. But because of that early gank, Smash is having a better time here. And now the rotation up top, a level 6 Batrider is hovering over. He's looking for Universe. He's going to try and block him back. He catches him with the lasso. They're going to get the follow-up stun here. It's enough to take Universe down low. Last hit incoming. Can they catch him? Misko's going pretty deep for it, and he will get it. And Misko, with a really early Medallion of Courage, is proven to be valuable. Smash rotates in. He goes on top of way too sexy. Fox is going to die on the back end. The tower's going to clean up Misko, but a 4-for-1 trade somehow on the bottom lane. Looks like Nikes died as well, and Denial are up 11-5 here right now. And what a dive that was in the top lane, and great haste rotation for his Smash. This is how he plays that mid Alchemist. He is not passive. He doesn't stay in the lane. He is aggressive all over the place, and that's why he's so good at it.
Okay, I want to note here, this is some extraordinary play coming out from Denial. I mean, Dignitas is no slouch of a team. Yes, they've been playing poorly recently, but this should not be happening. I think that they're just playing it so well, Denial, as a team. Dignitas not responding to those ganks, getting dove. I mean, you saw Smash rotate up there as well, getting tanky, of course, with his Chemical Rage down in the bottom lane right now. Universe may be in some trouble. The Magic Missile is going to go. Universe might go down here. Yes. Vengeful Spirit grabbing another kill. And John, you mentioned how good of a game Misko's having. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and if you look at this, the Medallion of Courage takes away 6 armor. The Wave of Terror at level 1 takes away 2 armor. And then the Acid Spray takes away, at level 2, 4 armor. So they have, let's do some maps, 12 armor reduction at level 1. Nobody has 12 armor, not even the Dragon Knight, who gets innate armor. And now Smashing the River's looking for another kill. They're going to go on top of Snaking. Snaking's going to die here for sure. The Concoction's enough to finish him off. There's nothing they can do. They're melting through these heroes. This early game advantage has been taken advantage of so well by Vengeful Spirit on Misko. I love this item choice in the Medallion of Courage. It is just slaughtering people. It makes the auto attacks from the other supports actually hurt, whereas normally they'd be brushed off by some of these heroes.
You're absolutely right. The Medallion of Courage, which Denial like to pick up, and a lot of teams do like to pick up a lot of the time on their supports right now. It's doing
here's a dive in the middle. They force out the cancel. Now they're going to go on way too. How deep are they going to commit to this? They're going to commit all the way and instantly killed. A test of faith thrown out there, and now Fogged is just standing on the sideline. He can't come in because the follow-up engage would be too much. And you're bringing up a good point. Please continue.
I mean, and just, you saw it there. I mean, the Medallion of Courage, on top of course, all of that magic damage coming through from Misoku, from the Unstable Concoction. Dignitas is going to fort this and try to defend this, and that's, I guess, a smart move here. But honestly, this is getting really out of hand here. I mean, this is 14-5 at 7 minutes. They've got a 5,000 experience lead and a 4,000 gold lead. And if this keeps going, and if Denial keep farming here, I'm pretty sure the Alchemist is going to outcarry anybody on this side of Dignitas, including that Nakes, who is great early on, but at the same time, I don't think that he's going to outfarm Smash here, even though he is that mid-Alchemist. And Snaking, of course, on that Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight can be really effective as well, but still, you've got Razor, you've got Smash roaming away. They've got an excellent lead here, and they're just going to work on the side of Dignitas. And Denial are playing just so well.
Yeah, and how nice is it if you're Smash right now to have a fallback contingency plan of a Razor that's on free farm as well. He's 3-0-3 on the bottom lane.
Mm.
I mean, his net worth is only 200 behind that of Smash's, and they're both a good 1,000 and change over the other targets early on in the game. We see River Snaking's going to pop off a Green Dragon to get the rune and rotate
No.
back to the middle lane.
It got denied just barely from Masoku at the last second. That was a play from Masoku, man. That was great. Whew.
Yeah, now we have Dignitas playing so conservatively, and this really isn't their game. They like to be more aggressive. They picked into that as well. They have the Dragonite who wants to play an early game. We also have Nyx Assassin as one of the supports. He likes to get involved early game, but the levels just aren't there right now for them. Nyx Assassin level 4, Nyx Assassin level 3, Visage level 4, Chen level 6, and then Misko level 7 on the Vengeful Spirit. He's tied with the solos from Dignitas right now. And that just is, I mean, it just spells how well he's been playing this game so far. And Dignitas need to really bunker down. They need to play it safely, but middle lane, a gank on Snaking yet again. There's no one here to help him. There's
Yeah,
a TP
Snaking.
coming in, though. They're going to try and go on him and then finish him off in time. They will. Dignitas Universe is here, but he's just going to have to go ahead and surge himself away. And that minus armor on full display once again. Able to chain off the Wave of Terror, able to get off the Medallion and the Acid Spray. And that makes even Dragon Knight just easy to take down.
Yeah, and they did get Snaking. The good thing, I guess, coming out from Dignitas, and I mean, this is about as good as it gets for them in this game right now. They got a kill on Mihawk while, of course, Snaking went down mid and they lost that tier 1 tower. That's maybe the best trade they're going to get except for that early trade, I mean, before the game even started. And right now, you said Dignitas, they need to bunker down. You're absolutely right. They either need to just try to, farm, stay back, stay way far back, essentially, get as much farm as possible, play 5-man if they can. But if they play 5-man, I don't even know if they win because the team fight coming out right now, the experience coming out from Denial is just too much. You talked about the Medallion on Venge, who's got level 4 magic missile already, including Swap. Ewo getting free farm, who's sitting on Shred's Bracer, and is about to get a drum as well on top of that. Smash is doing so much damage, even without anything. You've got the Lasso for Bat Ready, it's level 8. I mean, Dignitas, they're just so far behind in levels. I mean, if you look at the level chart right now, I mean, it pretty much tells the story. It's green pretty much all at the top except for the Chen, who's level 6. And that's really all he needs until he can get that mech, which he's going to be getting soon. I mean, he's already just the recipe away at 10 minutes into the game. That's going to be a really quick mech for that Chen. He's got that Hand of God at this point, and Smash going on Fog mid.
He's going to get hit by the Spike Carapace that time. But, yeah, the other thing I wanted to bring up was, I've been saying this the past couple of games, I don't know if you heard it or not, but this really is a lopsided matchup in the minds of most viewers because Denial has struggled against the top 3 North American teams. We've seen them get swept by EG, we've seen them get swept by Liquid, and beaten very definitively or decisively by Dignitas in previous affairs. But they've come out a whole different team. They look rejuvenated and really strong this game, and they're against a team that's boot camping. Dignitas are in a really important month for themselves going into TI 3 in, I think it's less than a month now, 27 days or something, really.
Yep.
So this is huge for them, and it just goes to show how well Denial are playing in these last, 3 games. One of those games really couldn't include in those.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have, I guess, problems from time to time. You're not going to win every single game, and if it takes a quick stomp to really get you back on pace in the series, then I think that's exactly what they needed. And Denial kind of focused up, and sure, they're picking unconventional picks here, but that's exactly what they need to do, and that's something that I think that Dignitas hasn't done a whole lot of recently, and I don't want to attribute that to their losses. Dignitas, they haven't been playing super poorly, but at the same time, I think that they're not experimenting enough. You saw EG and Liquid in the past few months. They kind of rebounded from some, poor play that they had as of recently. And I think a lot of that was because you had just really great drafts coming out from the side of both of those teams. Dignitas right now with Way Too Sexy, and I'm not placing all the blame on him, but I think they need to go for a little bit of a more you remember Dignitas from back in the day as the team that's not back in the day, but the team that picked Spectre and picked Warlock and picked all these crazy heroes and kind of just experimented. And right now, at least from what I've seen in the past few days of Dignitas's play, it just doesn't seem like they're doing the same thing. They kind of are just trying one thing and sticking with it right now, and it's not working for them.
Yeah, that is a good point. They've usually been the more creative, the trendsetters on the scene, if you will. You think back to Tiny, you think back to everything they've done in terms of supports. They bring on supports that even after Jakiro wasn't popular anymore, they stuck with him the whole time and made him work. They really are good innovators, but we haven't seen that in this series, and we certainly haven't seen that in some of the other series as of late either. Engage in the top lane is going to catch up way too sexy. He's getting drained dry, and he's going to be taken down easily here. The familiars are going to try and retreat to the high ground. They will do so safely, but another easy kill as Denial build on their lead, and they're looking for revenge. I mean, 13-minute GG, that's embarrassing for some teams, and Denial definitely have some pride on the line here, and they've responded amazingly. 12 minutes in, it's 17-6. There's not much Dignitas can do here except for put all of their eggs in the Lifestealer basket, hope he gets up his farm quickly enough, and then start to team fight around him, because individually these heroes are getting way too much income on the side of Denial. We do see an engagement in the bottom lane here. Masuko gets caught off by a stun. They will follow up, and Masuko should die here. No Dragon Tail to get him, though. Hand of God will fly off. Misko's going to try and turn this around. In from the side is Iwo, and they're going to try and get a turnaround yet again, but they're just going to force them off. Actually, they don't want to jump in. Blink Dagger up on Batrider, but no lasso available. So they will just casually walk away, and Chen ends up dying in the back of that somehow. I think Corrosive Breath maybe, or one of the other abilities might have caught him, maybe a long-range Soul Assumption.
Soul Assumption, I believe, actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
yeah
100%.
So, and Chen is close to the mech too, so 230 gold until that big team fight item comes into play. Sun flies off on Universe here. He's going to get hit with the damage from Iwo. In goes a swap to make sure they get the kill, but Razor would have killed him anyway, it looks like, with the nuke. And now they're going to focus on this tier 2 tower, which is going to go down rather quickly in the top lane, though. We do see Smash getting jumped on by AUI 2000. This was the matchup I was concerned about pregame. Lifestealer does pretty well against Alchemist, and he ends up just getting away safely back to his tower. And now Iwo's going to pop off his ultimate in the middle of the river and casually walk away from everybody. Interesting play from Iwo.
Maybe a misclick. let's chalk it up to a misclick here. Yeah, let's be honest.
Let's chalk it up to a misclick. It could be a new strategy where you river storm. Maybe it gives the storm more momentum, like those hurricanes.
Water conducts electricity, so I know what he's going for. I understand Iwo's thought process here. It's not going to work, of course, in Dota, but
Welcome to Dota Science with NY John and Mott.
Yeah, that's right.
The electricity in the river just got them a team wipe. No.
Exactly. That should be a thing. But in all reality, right now, guys, the Peruvian powerhouse is. Denial is coming to play here. They've got an 18-7 lead. If we look at the graphs, it's 7,500 experience, 10,000 gold at 13 minutes of the game. You mentioned them being angry about last game, and yeah, absolutely. And they want to rebound. It looks like they're doing just that right now. You talked about AUI 2000 just trying to get farm, putting the eggs in that basket right now, but he's down 3,000 net worth. They're going to try to push as pretty much 4 here. They're kind of split up. You can see that. If anybody TP'd in right now, if there was some mass TPs from the side of Denial, this could get ugly for Dignitas, and it very well could right now.
Yeah, there's a couple troll warlords. We talked about Masuko being the king of the trolls. He comes in here, and against the Knights, again, has the trolls in play. We see Lysor get hit by 1. Now he gets lassoed. Misko's taking a lot of damage. He's actually going to be the first casualty. And out from the back end, Iwo comes into the middle of the fight. He's draining a lot of damage off of one of the targets. I couldn't see who. I think it was actually the Vistage. And now Stun comes in on top of Snaking, and he's taking a whole lot of damage as well. He's going to drop here. Ends up being a 1-for-2 trade as it stands right now. They're also killing off some of the familiars. One familiar goes down. That's even more gold for this Razor, who already has drums and a Yasha. 1,200 gold in the bank. There's Chen's mech. And look at these. Troll Warlord all day for Masuko. Just works so well against Lifestealer, but you're really banking on a certain degree of luck to actually cash in on that factor if you're playing the Chen.
I mean, listen, man, Masuko and his freaking Troll Warlords, he loves those things. I don't put it past him for, of course, picking those up. Universe grabbing an Invis Rune. He's going to scout at this Roche. I don't know if there's anything they can do about this. Universe doesn't have wall, by the way, and he's actually taking damage from that Firefly. He's got to back off. You can see that. Mech's going to go, and here we go. A big fight could be coming.
Yeah, this is about to get a little bit hectic here. Universe still taking damage from the Firefly. Now in from the side is the Vendetta by Fogt. He gets his stun on a couple targets. Smash charging up that concoction. Is going to let it fly. It hits on Snaking. Snaking on the back end. Disabled. Alchemist gets a kill on Visage somehow from the acid spray. Fogt is going to run up to try and kill off Masuko on the high ground. But the auto attacks from Misko are too strong. They're enough to kill off Fogged in his pursuit, and now Universe is trying to get away from the strong Vengeful Spirit right now. Flame Break's going to fly. It doesn't hit on him, and it looks like he'll make his way out of here, but 4 heroes end up dying from Dignitas for only 1 hero, and there's a magic missile. Cash in from Misko. He's able to convert another kill. He's 7-3-9. Amazing play from this Vengeful Spirit. So mobile, and, you know, those early game fights, whatever way they go in the beginning of the game, they definitely do change the tone of a matchup because a lot of heroes get to the lanes later and it throws things a little bit off balance. But certainly allowed Misko to roam so effectively in this game because everywhere he went, Dignitas were one step behind in terms of being there responsively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Misko's got to be my MVP of this game. I mean, you just saw that. He bought phase boots specifically to get in range of getting kills, get, of course, the Vengeful Magic Missile, and, of course, the Nether Swap. And he's just been so good this game. They're already going for the Tier 3 with that Aegis from the Roche. Smash has an Assault Cuirass right now. You mentioned the Yasha on Razor. And here comes another fight.
Yep, they're linking again. They're coming in. Oh, nice vacuum and a nice stun follow-up. It's going to get them really low. In fact, it looks like Smash might drop here. Ewo's going to actually lose the Aegis. Smash does die, and this is the first good fight of Dignitas we've seen since the initial one. 3 heroes dead on the side of Denial. The buyback comes out instantly. Ewo's going to turn around and try and deal some damage, but he might have to just try and make it out of here. No, they turn back on AUI. They take him down. The Familiars are taken down as well. They see Snaking. He's pretty low on health. Misko's going to go ahead and chase him down. Swap available. Stun available in a couple seconds. They swap him back. Throw him into the middle of the fray. There's no stun follow-up because the Dragon Tail stops Misko from getting it off there. They do get the Wave of Terror, but it's not enough to get the kill. Buyback from AUI gets him back into the middle of the fight. Masuko there, and he's actually going to drop to the Lifestealer. Lifestealer going for a second kill on Misko, but all of his damage has been sapped. He's down to 18 damage or so on that Lifestealer. He's still pursuing hard, and now we hear a Concoction charging as from the backside, Smash comes in on top of Way Too Sexy, now trying to claw away at him, but Misko actually loses his life. Smash is going to continue on to Snaking, but the TPs are coming in spades for Dignitas right now. AUI trying to make his way back to the base. Razor in pursuit. He's going to toggle that armlet and make it relatively impossible for Ewo to kill him by himself. As Smash charging another stun comes in and just hits it on Universe. Ewo and Smash not sure if they want to try and 2 versus 4 this, but instead they will actually just continue to back up, surge onto the Vendetta Nyx Assassin. He's going to try and open on somebody, but he's not going to do very much to an Alchemist with an AC at 18 minutes in this game, so he will just give up on it. And that ends up being one of the better fights for Dignitas. It doesn't change much. We see 15,000 gold lead, 15,000 experience. The base doesn't get broken, but a couple buybacks from either side could definitely change future engagements.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I mean, if that's the best engagement they've got this game, then they're still in a pretty big hole here, and they're still in some big trouble because they lost 3 heroes in that fight when they really should have taken a lot more. I mean, there were plenty of low heroes from Denial, of course, Chen. I think getting off of his abilities and of course, the mech, really important there. Buyback coming out from a couple of heroes on the side. Well, actually, I think it was just 2. There's the one buyback coming out from Nakes from Aoi 2000, and of course, Smash getting back into the fight as well. The Aegis did go for Ewo, but in the end, I mean, they picked up some big kills. They didn't break the base just yet. The tier 3 is at about half health, but they lost a lot of golden experience just from the Roshan and that fight essentially as well. I mean, it's 15,000 in both gold and experience lead now for Denial. Dignitas is at a point here where midnight hour is approaching. There's not a whole lot they can really do. They know this, that they're trying desperately to just take this game as long as possible. They do have the Darkseer wall and vacuum, which is something that you can really look forward to, but he really needs to get that level 2 wall up, and that's really important to have against this lineup right now. Denial, they're going to go for the base again, and they might be able to take it this time around.
Yeah, Swap takes out Snaking. He actually disjoints the magic missile with invisibility. A nice vacuum's going to set it up again. A good wall placed down in the middle of it. Heroes dropping low. Smash is going to die early on here. No buyback available for him, and that's the only casualty thus far. Universe is actually going to go down. He's the second fall. AUI in the middle of the fight gets really low, but infests into one of the creeps and pops out, and now Ewo is going to drop as well. Dignitas are holding. They get another kill on Misko on the back end. The tier 3 does drop in the middle of the chaos, but Dignitas do hold. They get 3-1 trade. They lose their tier 3 tower, and AUI just barely living. That's the upside of having a Lifestealer against a Chen. Being able to infest in and out of those creeps is really beneficial for him.
Yeah, that was just, I think that fight really just showed that Dignitas had the superior play there. And it was, you called, of course, that wall and that vacuum just absolutely fantastic for Universe. That was exactly what they needed. It was exactly what I was talking about as well. Getting that wall, even level 1, still gets you that amount of damage. You saw it too. And of course, coming through, Aoi taking a lot of damage, but able to infest and survive. And that's exactly what needed to happen as well. Way Too Sexy, cleaning up some kills. Snaking, of course, with that big disjoint. A lot of great plays from Dignitas, but they're going to need about, I'd say 6 or 7 more of those kind of fights in order to get back in this one. And that is a tall order. I mean, they lost the tier 3, and eventually Denial should be able to take a couple more tier 3s or even a Rax just by sheer brute force. Of course, Aegis is going to be up for grabs in about 5 minutes as well on top of that. Universe does have his mech, so they're starting to get farmed here, but at the same time, Smash has been farming pretty consistently. You can see he's got the AC. He's going for what seems to be a BKB next, and that's the smart choice there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ewo goes for something along those lines. And he's actually got the BKB already, so what am I even talking about? He's got the Yasha as well on top of that. and he's level 16. So they're in a point where they have some wiggle room here for denial, but they really can't afford to lose too many fights, lest the momentum start going Dignitas' favor, and they kind of get this, surge of, I guess, adrenaline for Dignitas right now. They're going to smoke up, and they might look for a pickoff here. And if they can get anything done here, get a kill and just have everyone survive, that's going to be exactly what they needed. But it's going to be tough. Everybody is grouped up from denial right now.
Yeah, and they're going to move towards that bottom lane because there is a secondary option. They can go for that tower if they don't find anyone out, or even if they get one pick off, they can transition and make that a decent victory. We see double damage picked up by Visage here as well. So we'll see if they can get that pick into the tier 1 tower down here. That would be really crucial for them because they need some semblance of map control. You can see they actually have the only ward on the map right now, which is pretty astonishing. Actually, the only 2 wards on the map. That Denial just haven't opted to put down Vision quite yet. You can see there are wards on the Chen, so they'll probably be coming up momentarily. He's dropping them along the way as they march up the middle. But it's definitely something you want to take advantage of when you have as much control across the map. Here's the TP response back. They're just going to force them back. The tower does go down on the bottom, so it's a tier 1. If they can hold here, this is a decent result for them. Smash gets stunned off immediately in the middle of the fight. He's going to have to charge off. They swap him out, though. Misko now in the fray. Nice vacuum catches them. A wall comes in, but every hero able to make it out of the base. Smash charging up a stun. He's not going to have a target to throw on. He's going to stun himself. If there's pursuit from Dignitas, they might find something here. Mihawk gets stunned off. He hasn't used the lasso yet. He's going to die before he can get a lasso off, and this is looking good for Dignitas as they continue on. They're able to chase uphill. Ewo's trying to get a kill onto Fogged. He's going to get that BKB active. Smash surviving just barely. Snaking taking a good amount of damage as well. Concoction's going to fly. Will hit him. Ewo's looking to play cleanup duty. He goes on top of Universe as well. He does have the ultimate active. Universe is going to die. Ewo has a triple kill so far. He's going for way too stuns him with both of the gargoyles, but he's going to get him anyway. It's a quad kill. Ultra kill for Ewo. Trying to single-handedly carry Denial Esports to a Game 4 victory and 3rd place of the American Dota League against all odds. With the buybacks come out from Dignitas, they have to hold the base. These are desperation buybacks right now. Mihawk with that jump into the base, lasso onto Fogged. Fogged is going to go down right away. We do see the buybacks come out from Darkseer and DK, though. This should force a back from Denial. This is really aggressive from them. They don't have BKB available. I'm a little bit nervous for them right now.
Honestly, I think at this point they've got such an experience that you saw it in that fight. Ewo with just so much damage. Level 3 Storm just so good. Also, of course, just has so much damage from that static link to Plasma Field. They're going to go again.
They're going in. Universe taking a whole lot of damage. He's going to go down. Smash is going to follow up. He gets stunned by the Dragon Tail, but they're able to go on to way too sexy. Instead, he's going to drop. On the back end, it looks like Misko was able to take one down too. 4 heroes dead. Fogged respawning right now, but the middle melee barracks is going down, and GG is called. GG is called. Denial complete. One of the biggest upsets we have seen in a long time against Dignitas to take 3rd place against a team they previously struggled against mightily. Denial Esports looking amazing here, and once again, they're the America's sweethearts. They're one of the surging teams. They're playing so hot right now, and they were on a free fall for a while there. Let's be honest, they were losing series all around the place, but what an amazing sequence of games for them here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I gotta say, man, Ewo Razor. I mean, Ewo Copter, I know that's a big thing, but you just saw an ultra kill and a triple kill, one right after another. And in fact, he took down, I believe, Fogged right as he bought back and got into the fray. And that, I thought, should have been a rampage there as well. But I mean, you said it best, man. Denial just playing so well this series, of course, and going up against a Team Dignitas, like you said, who's boot camping, who's going to TI3. I guess kind of a big juggernaut to face up against. I mean, you're from Peru. You've been playing some rough teams lately. You've been having some rough results, but coming through, getting 3rd place in this tournament, and just taking down Dignitas in the way that they did. Absolutely fantastic play from Denial. We say it time and time again. They're the next big thing, I think, coming out from the American scene, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them play some more games, hopefully, in the very near future.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone that tuned in throughout this whole series. Congratulations to Denial, of course, for taking the 3rd place. That leaves us with Liquid winning out Season 1 of the ADL. In 2nd with Evil Geniuses, of course, just coming short after having a perfect season. And 3rd place will be Denial, leaving Dignitas at a sad 4th. Denial do win a good amount of money here, taking home this victory, and end up splitting up the top 3 of NA there. But, of course, anyone that tuned in for all 4 games, we greatly appreciate your viewership. People that have bought tickets throughout the season, it really is amazing for you guys to support this league. It was a lot of fun for us to cast. Of course, Mott stepping in midway through to take over for AAC, doing a great job of that. And once again, if you haven't already, be sure to follow everybody. At American Dota is the most important. Then after you check them out, follow at NYJohnTV for me and at MontDota2 for my co-caster, Mont, usually the main caster, but he had other obligations, showed up late so he can join us and watch Denial with a huge upset victory. I mean, for what it's worth, on Dota 2 Lounge, this was a 19% to an 81% upset. Somebody is going home rich and rares tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, Denial, we talked about it. It's just an amazing result for them. I'm really happy for them. Obviously, Dignitas, hopefully they can turn this around. Hopefully this doesn't affect their boot camping too much, and hopefully they push forward into TI3 and they play extraordinarily well, because they are representing that American scene. I hope they do well there. And yeah, and in terms of just the American Dota League, it's been a lot of fun this season, guys. The last game of season 1 is done now. So I want to, like John said, give a big shout out to pretty much everybody involved with the ADL, of course. Shawnee C, the organizer, definitely a lot of fun, allowing us to come in here and cast for him. Just been so much fun watching these games. And I got to say, guys, it's been a pleasure. For everybody in chat, both North, South America, and even Europe, everywhere around the world that's been watching the ADL. It's been a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, and that's going to be it for this broadcast. So be sure to follow everybody on Twitter. Once again, at American Dota, at NYJohnTV, and at MontDota2. It's greatly appreciated. We'll see you when we see you. You'll know when that is if you follow us on Twitter, of course. And that's it. Congratulations to Denial Esports for winning this third game and making an amazing series. Dignitas have always been a team that have been resilient. They will rebound. I believe in them doing well at TI3. This is just a bump in the road for them right now. So
Yeah.
congratulations and good night, guys.